What's up, my fantastic human beings? Hey, y'all. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Because I have no idea what time you're seeing this and where you are in the world when you are seeing this. You like my green ball? It's my exercise ball. Some of my clients, usually you would use it for sit-ups and laying on top of it like a bench, like you would do a bench in the gym, and doing chest presses, hip work. I mean, there's a lot of different things that you can do with it, but I use it a lot for my clients that have me come out to their homes for flexibility, to help improve the range of motion in their joints. You know, people that have had hip replacements and stuff like that, or just generally tight. Like I have someone with Parkinson's who has really bad kyphosis, which is like people know it as hunchback, rounded shoulders, can't stand up, and you can't see me from the side because I'm driving. And even all that stuff would be deemed unsafe to some. But yeah, that's why I got the green ball in the back, because I'm heading to my flexibility client. I have two of them this afternoon. So it's Friday afternoon at 1 p.m. 1:06 p.m. So yeah, I got to thinking last week when it was extremely chaotic. Remember I told you in the last vlog style video that I need to turn the air up because it is so hot. Hopefully it's not all up in my business. But yeah, the vlog video that I did that showed, you know, the cabinets and bleh. And then I think it was Wednesday night or Tuesday night, one of the two, my garage door collapsed. I didn't take a picture of it. I didn't take a video of it because I was so angry. Just another thing that was broken in our house. But besides that, got me thinking. Oh no, enough about that. Got me thinking about, you know, my father-in-law was telling me about, you know, the things that we have in our house that are falling apart are what real estate agents or people in the real estate market calls deferred maintenance, which that's a perfect two-word explanation label for all of these things that are falling apart. It's just you're putting off what should be done now to prevent the headaches in the future. If you've ever heard that quote, something like, don't push off to tomorrow what you can do today. I think that's what the quote was. I'm sure there's a variation of the quote. Like every quote has many variations. But yeah. So that led me into the thinking, the process of thinking of, you know, I have been deferring the maintenance. I've been pushing it off to tomorrow, not doing it today. Whether it was because of, you know, we didn't have the money to fix it, or it was like out of sight, out of mind, whatever. It's definitely not responsible. And you don't know that it's not responsible until you get into that realm, if you will. Like in life, if you've never been taught how to do something or how to not do something, and you do that you're not good at or that you were never taught, it's not a mistake. I would say that it would be a mistake if you did it and there was a negative consequence, but then you did it again, completely thinking that there was going to be no negative consequence, or you were rationalizing it, trying to think the consequence out of the equation. You know what I mean? Like smoking cigarettes or drinking or whatever it is, gambling, pornography, doesn't matter what it is. Bad relationships, relationships you shouldn't have. you do it once and you get a negative consequence as a result, you learn. If you do learn, if you learn, to change the direction of whatever the thought process was that you had prior to making that choice. But if you do it again, that's a mistake. That's how I look at it. I don't know if, hopefully that makes sense. I mean, because if you're never taught how to do something or not do something, and you do it, you now know that there's a lesson attached to it. You know what? I don't like pain and discomfort. You know what? I don't like hurting other people, and I don't like hurting myself. You know what? I'm going to do something different. So make the choice different next time. You learned. It's wise. It's wisdom. So, being that I'm a dot connector like I am, meaning I take everything, all of my senses, whatever is picking it up, whatever my senses are picking up, and I connect dots between current situation and past experiences and whatever I have going on in my head. I'm just connecting dots. So I started thinking about, there was a common theme with some of the conversations I've had with a lot of people regarding a life in balance, going back to one of the videos that I did last year sometime, where I was basically talking about organizing one's life and bringing balance and order to it. But when you defer things off and you put things off, they're bound to break just because they just deteriorate because of whatever. Maybe they're exposed to the elements, the sun, maybe humidity, heat, cold, the ocean, salt. Things deteriorate over time, especially if you pay no attention to them, like relationships. I mean, if any of you are married, or if you have a boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, or even best friends, and even relationship with God. If you defer off to tomorrow what you can do today, and you keep doing that, the relationship is not going to grow. In fact, it's going to die. There's no I'm going to pick up where I left off last time. And you know how you have those relationships with maybe your childhood best friend or your sibling, brother or sister, whatever. Like, years can go by, and the moment that you guys get back together, you're like your children again, or like years have not gone by. But that's not how the real world works when it comes to relationships. When you defer things off to tomorrow, what you can do today, things die. Tony Robbins always talks about, if you're not progressing, you're dying. You're not just coasting at status quo. You're not. You're either progressing, or from your perspective, progressing, or you're regressing. There's no in between. So, that being said, I'm looking at the game. I'm looking at why I play as much as I do on certain times of day, or certain days of the week, or certain weeks of the month. And I'm essentially doing what a lot of people do, which is use the game as a means of coping with one's discontent in life. If you find yourself playing, just you hit the battle, as soon as the battle's over, you check your stats and hit battle again and repeat. And you have this anxiety, and you know you're at the wit's end. You can't go any further. You are tired, you are angry, you're frustrated with the matchmaking, with this and that, but you just keep going because you think it's going to be better next match. And your mindset is shifting from being not really proactive, reactive, more you don't have that in flow, in state battle readiness, like you're outthinking your enemy. You're more reacting to the enemy. Your eyes are getting fuzzy and foggy. Your thinking is slow. You might have, you know, a flood of anxiety or adrenaline. Your body, your arms, your legs might be shaking. You know, you might have low blood sugar. I mean, there's a lot of different things. But you just keep playing because it's just, you're so stuck in that, like, gambling, the casino, lever, slot machine mindset. You're thinking that you're going to get something next time. You lost. You're going to do it again because you're going to get something next time. You lost. You're going to do it again and get something next time. And then you lose again, again, and again. And then you get so sour and no one else is around you and you want to share your feelings of frustration, but Facebook is the only place to go. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh man, I'm sharing the toxicity that I don't need to be sharing because it's not really the game. It's me putting off what I could do today. But I'm using the game. I'm getting angry at the game, but I'm not angry at the game. I'm angry at myself for putting off tomorrow what I can do right now, what I should be doing right now. So it's like drinking, it's like cigarettes, it's like gambling, it's like pornography, whatever. You are using something to distract you from the discontent you feel in yourself because of the things that you know you're putting off to tomorrow and you know you shouldn't be. And so you play more. Wow. Unbelievable. So, that being said, yeah, I've got some checks and balances to do. I'm always needing to do checks and balances. We all do. Because we have to protect the things that we have worked hard for. We have to fight for the things that we don't have yet that we know we're going to need in the future. And that future can be later today. It could be tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. Because you just never know. You never know. This world is big. We think it's small because we see the same people everywhere we go. We talk to the same people everywhere we go. And we see the same players on the field that we played before. It's just, it makes you think that the world is small. Then you get out of your bubble, then you realize it isn't at all. Did that rhyme? I think it did. Why is I hope my exposure is not in reality what it looks like right now, because I can barely see myself. Yeah, every time I tap it, which is to reset and activate the exposure, contrast, or whatever, exposure and focus. So yeah, I mean, like, what do you guys think? Now it looks brighter. I hope the last 12 minutes was not, or 13, 24 minutes was not all dark. I hope it wasn't. Anyway, so yeah, I was sharing a video with my wife because my wife is back in school for her nurse practitioner degree. I think it's a master's. And she's studying this, I don't even know how to even pronounce this word. It's a type of, wow, my phone just overheated for the first time ever. And I wasn't playing War Robots. Literally, it said, emergency, shutting down, emergency, overheating, please let phone cool down, or something like that. So I had my phone up against the air conditioning vent and I'm blasting cold air. And now it's working. I've never seen that before. My phone has been acting sluggish anyway. But anyway, the thing that I was going to tell you was, I shared this video with my wife about studying this, whatever, this thing I can't even pronounce. And it was about prioritizing the tasks that you have when it comes to studying. And he was using a specific quadrants, these quadrants, like, remember a while back when I said about human experiences, Tony Robbins, I love Tony Robbins' literature, or his books and stuff. talks about the quadrants of human experience. Quadrant 4 is it doesn't feel good, it isn't good for me, it isn't good for others, and it doesn't serve a greater good. And then quadrant 3 is, so imagine 4 boxes. So the very bottom right or bottom left, so how you would be looking at it in this video. Anyway, what I just said, the next one is quadrant 3, which is it feels good, it isn't good for me, it isn't good for others, and it doesn't serve a greater good. Quadrant 2 on the upper side is it doesn't feel good, but it is good for me, it is good for others, and it serves a greater good. And then quadrant 1, which is ultimate desire, which is it feels good, it is good for me, it is good for others, and it serves a greater good. So if you classify, so if you put specific things that you're doing in life in those quadrants, then you can basically, you can get rid of the things that aren't good for you and it isn't good for others, and it, toxic stuff, and then you start implementing some of the things that are more rich and build you up. Using the same quadrants when it comes to studying, and I look at it from life's perspective too, which is, I don't remember now I'm thinking about it, I'm now pulling up to my client's house, and yeah. You know what? I'll talk about that some other time. Because I know I'm pretty much done saying what I was going to say anyway. And I wasn't even going to go that route because it didn't even cross my mind as far as like what I wanted to talk about with the quadrant thing. And then my phone overheated and I'm like, but reset. Now I'm like Doug the dog, like guy with like really bad ADD. Squirrel. If you guys don't know, the YouTuber, that's his wife's car. That's where his Tesla is usually parked. It's a friend of mine, Elliot Hulse. Yeah, he lives here. God, he has like almost 2 million subscribers now. Travels all around the world. Dude is a brilliant guy. I learned a lot from that man. Anyway, I am going into my client now, and I'm going to see if I can upload this while I am there. I'm just going to put my phone on the charger in their living room, and then go work with them. So, any hizzle, I hope you, your friends, and family are happy, healthy, and safe. And until next time, I'll see y'all soon. Love you guys. Peace.